Hey guys, welcome back. I hope your Summit small groups are going well. I'm Lauren, and let me just start by telling you something really interesting about myself. And it's that I love superheroes. I'm super into Marvel. I follow Robert Downey Jr. on Instagram, aka Iron Man, aka The Greatest Avenger. I watched all of the Marvel movies to get ready for Avengers Endgame, and I spend a ridiculous amount of my time imagining what superpower I would have. And I've thought about it a lot, and I've decided that reading people's minds is the superpower that I want. Now you might be saying, oh, that's not cool because you're not as good at fighting as some people and you can't fly, and that's a really lame superpower. But think about this. The villain enters the room, and he can't do anything, he or she, can't do anything because I already know exactly what the plan is gonna be because I read their mind. And it's just as helpful in kind of my non-superhero life, my personal life, because every time I take a test, I know what the teacher is thinking, so I know all the right answers. Or all my friends, they're mad, but they're not mad at me because I know exactly what they want. So reading people's minds is the coolest superpower. And it is because I love this idea of reading people's minds that I think this week's gospel is so cool. Because in this gospel, we get to look inside the thoughts of two people. Now, the first person's mind that we get to read is the Pharisee. The Pharisees are always the people that Jesus is going toe-to-toe with, so the scripture already sets us up to know that this guy is going to be a bad example. And he goes in and he begins to pray secretly to himself, Lord, thank you that I'm not like other people. Thank you that I tithe 10%. And he begins to list all these accomplishments. And I think it's ridiculous because it's not like God of the universe is going to be impressed that this one guy remembered to tithe 10%. And the next person we see is a complete contrast to him. He is the sinner, and he cries out to the Lord and he says, Lord, have mercy on me, a sinner. Let's return for a second to the idea of mind reading. The scriptures could very easily have told us there's a prideful guy and there's a humble guy. Don't be like the prideful guy, be like the humble guy, the end. But instead, the scripture chooses to let us look inside both of these guys' thoughts and feelings. And specifically, it lets us see the thought process of the Pharisee. Now, the Pharisee is obviously prideful, but what's underneath this pride? What is causing his tendency to despise other people? When my arm hurts, okay, let's say it hurts really bad, and I go to the doctor, the first thing that they're gonna do is they're gonna take an x-ray, right? They're gonna look inside, they're gonna look for the deeper source, and they'll say, oh, turns out your arm hurts really bad because it's broken. When someone is prideful, there's always something at the root. And in this scripture, I think it's trust. The opening line of the passage says, there was a man who trusted in himself and despised others. Trust. Trust is the firm belief in the reliability or the strength of another person. There's a great line in the Litany of Trust, and it says, from the belief that I have what it takes, deliver me, Jesus. I think in reading this scripture, there's so many times in my own life that I'm like the Pharisee, where I trust that if I do good enough, or do holy enough, or act this way, or act that way, or get this accomplishment, or that accomplishment, that God will see me, and that he will love me, and that he will care about me. When in the reality, that God is like kind of like that x-ray. He sees to the heart. When I want to act like the Pharisee, Jesus reminds me that his love is more than skin deep. He says, just cry out for my mercy, and I'm always gonna be there. I'm so excited for you guys to dive more into this scripture with your Summit small groups. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. Let us know in the comment section how your Summit small groups are going, and subscribe to our channel. I'll see you guys next week.